welcome to episode 15 of the Blackwood Podcast Morning Wood. Friday, great podcast, Terence.
It was super excited about.
It was really good output there for capturing all the past players, etc. But I think we tried to diversify a bit with what we're trying to do. And tonight we have Samantha Connell with us. She's a local entrepreneur, lives around the corner from the club, runs her own business in fitness and health. So we just want to tap into that, really informative, time tonight, just getting information about what she does, what her business is about, and see if anybody out there is interested in accessing what she does. So welcome, Sam. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Coming on. So thanks to our sponsors, Academy of Talent, Health and Social Care Training Company in Bedwas.
And then we got at Bombrugby. You can find him on Instagram. Let you know about his merch. He sells beanies, socks, hoodies, vests, t-shirts and caps. Anything you want. If you look at his Instagram page, and you can order direct by direct message him. Really good quality stuff. Really nice merch. In fact, you'll see us modelling some merch very soon. He's had some podcast t-shirts made, and they'll be up for purchase as well in the near future.
Marvellous. Thanks for coming, Sam.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
me.
it. So I think we'll start really with your business, really, your fitness and health sort of side of your business. So when did that start then? How long has that been going?
2016 I qualified, 2017 I actually started taking clients on.
So when you say it's qualified, do you have to be a PT or do you have to do the advanced side of it if you're running a business?
No. Well, I suppose you can do, but I didn't. I just went in, done my fitness instructor course level 2 that they call it, and then went in and done level 3 PT, and that was it, qualified. And then it's like friends and family, can you train me, and it went from there.
Excellent.
Sorry to state the obvious, but I assume you were into fitness before you did that, and it was an hobby of yours before you got into it.
Yeah, I was training myself anyway. I'm quite fortunate that I was brought up with horses. My parents, we'd done dancing, running, gymnastics, swimming, you name it. We were fortunate enough to be able to do it.
So training has always been part of your life then?
Yeah.
So you've always kept yourself in shape,
yeah.
And always trained, and obviously an active hobby of yours then?
Yes, definitely.
So, and they do say if you can get paid for something you enjoy doing, it's happy days, isn't it?
It's not a job then, is it?
No. And I think something I've always thought about really being a rugby man is tapping into running sort of fitness classes and offering. I see a lot of people online now doing a lot of rugby classes, don't they? They're able to do that. But for yourself, it's a lot of responsibility. So classes, has that advanced, or is it the same from when you began your business, or is it?
It's not a case of it advances. It's a case of, obviously, you have core loyal clients that will stay with you, and they just keep coming back for whatever reason. And then you have people that dip in and out of fitness. Some people are not naturally drawn to fitness.
No, I talk about myself here, I tell about you, but as a kid, rugby player, I was just naturally born to train, and I used to love it. So, but for someone who hasn't done it, I suppose that's a challenge, and I think that's where you come in as a business. To the entrepreneurial side of it is the motivation, isn't it? Getting people to do it, really.
Random question: are you busier in January than the rest of the year?
Actually, no.
Anyway, I was surprised at that, because I know gyms normally peak their membership in January.
This whole new year, new me thing, no, it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Doesn't it?
No. You usually have a lot of excuses that people are saying. Trouble is, I've gone and spent 150, 200 quid on a load of shopping. Well, I got to eat all that food, haven't I, first, before I
use that excuse. I use that.
So nutrition, is that something you help with, or is it just the fitness side of it? So let's talk about the nutrition side of it. Is there a set way of your nutrition aims, or is it something that you, obviously individuals, case by case?
Yes, so individually, case by case, person by person, they come to me, they tell me what they want, lose weight, gain muscle, whatever it is. So we go through a lot of questions, a questionnaire is set up just to find out what it is that they have expectation wise. And then we go from there, because it's all very well and good somebody coming along going, I'd like to lose 2 stone and I want it done in 6 weeks. And you're looking at them like, it's a bit unachievable.
Yeah, realistic targets.
Are you honest?
Yes.
As in, I don't mean that in a bad way, but obviously people got goals and expectations. And obviously I know you can sugarcoat things, but you said, I want to lose 2 stone in 6 weeks. And I imagine
one
there's
thing
ways
about
of
me
doing
is
it.
I don't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah, well, I think that's I've always been in the environment where call a spade, so in like rugby feedback we played, if they say you had a bad game, as long as I was told why I had a bad game, or if I'd done well, as long as I was told why, you can learn to get better. And I think often, again, society and the younger generation now, they don't like being told straight. So sometimes people sugarcoat things too much and then give them expectations they can't achieve.
Yeah.
So like my daughter now, she's doing really, really well in netball. And I never criticise her by no means. I always encourage her, tell her to listen to coaches. If she asks my opinion, well, I had to give it to her anyway if she asks or not. But I don't necessarily tell her all the good things. I tell her stuff that she could do better as well. Because I think if you glorify things, no one will ever do any better, will they?
Well, of course they won't. At the end of the day, you're supposed to be there to say to them, look, this is what you need to work on, this is what's not working, this is working. You can't be true to somebody if you're not doing that, can you?
Yeah.
So if somebody comes in and says, oh, excuse me, can I lose 2 stone in 6 weeks? And I go, yeah, and then that 6 weeks is up. What are they going to say to me? Well, why haven't I lost my 2 stone?
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be realistic. We got a lad I was dealing with last night. It's just a question for you, really. He's quite a big lad. You know, he's a front row forward. He's 6'2". Good frame on him. He's not overweight if you look at him, but he is carrying weight across the body.
Okay.
So he struggles with his calves. He's always got tight calves. Do you think there's something you could help with in that respect?
Well, yeah.
Obviously, you have to have a look at him and see.
So I do massage, but I also assess a lot of my clients, which I don't know if a lot of other personal trainers, coaches do that. For example, I've had recently a couple of women coming in saying they've got this problem, that problem. A lot of it turns out that their posture is shocking.
Yeah, right.
So you work from the bottom up, basically. So
Okay.
how they stand, how they sit, how they move, everything, the whole function of the body. Because if one thing is out, 90% of the time, a lot of other things are out as well.
Yeah.
So it's all very well and good somebody coming along and saying, oh, can you teach me how to lift 100 kilos? Well, yeah, I can teach you how to lift 100 kilos, but are you safe lifting that 100 kilos? And how does your body move lifting that 100 kilos?
There's a lot to think about in there, you know, when you talk about people coming in for fitness, is the health and safety side of it and the blood pressure side of it. So you health check people?
No.
It's up to them then, is
my
it?
automatic assumption is that they've perhaps, if they've got health issues, potentially they're under some sort of doctor or consultant or something.
Yeah, they've come
and
through.
I've gone and said to them then, well, have you confirmed with your doctor or your consultant that you're in a fit state to be able to come to me and do exercise, to do the classes, to train with me? Hopefully they have. If they haven't, I'm likely to turn around and say, I think you need to go and get the okay before you come and
Yeah,
join
that's
me.
right, the common
I'm
sense.
not medically qualified.
I just thought it was a
so it's
checklist
not-
maybe when they come in.
Yeah, you
Right.
can do a parkour with them
Yeah.
and it's all the basic questions. Are you fitting well? Do you suffer with this? Do you suffer with that? But ultimately, if they do have certain symptoms, that's not for me to stand there and go, right, well, I don't think you should do this. You need to go and see your doctor or your consultant or whoever you're under and ask them, are you fitting well enough first? Or they should have done that before they come to me.
Common sense. I just think they
Is
cut
that
it
one of
off
the
to
checks
see.
you do? Do you say you interview them, they fill out a form?
Yeah.
Is that one of the checks? You
Yeah.
do?
So I go through questions with them, basically asking, are you fitting well? Have you suffered any, have you had any operations? Have you had any broken bones? Anything like that. All the basic questions. Hopefully they're going to come back and say to me, no, I'm all right, I'm fit, I'm well, I'm okay. Right, you're good to go.
Tell us about your classes then, Sam. Or, you know, your week structure then. What's your week like? Is it as different
all the
every
time,
week? So,
yeah.
so this week, have you had like everyday classes that people can access?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday are the main days for classes. Sometimes I'll throw something in like an online stretch and mobility class. So back last year, I was actually doing the full class in person in the hall up in Blackwood.
Sorry if I ask, what are the sessions? They circuits? Sorry.
No, a stretch and mobility
Right.
class.
Right, excellent.
So going back to the whole, it's making sure that my clients are safe to train. I do a lot with how is your flexibility? Can you touch toes? Basic, simple things. And a lot of them will say, no, I can't. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't touch toes? No, I can't. Even 20-odd-year-olds, I am
Yeah,
shocked.
it's surprising, isn't it? Like you say body starch.
You basically, they come in, they do the session, you can just assess how they move, their mobility, everything like that. And we were doing that in person, just in the hall. I was going in, teaching a couple of people coming in. We currently now do that online, so they can access that
Oh,
online.
right,
They're in
that's
their
another-
homes.
Yeah.
So this is the new
That's
thing
good.
now, where everybody wants to do things at home. They don't always want to come in
No, I
person
thi-
and see you and do things in person.
I see that. Don't you tell? You know, I see that from people, but surely, for your well-being, you talk about well-being today, mental health, get out there and get in physically in front of someone.
Well, what happens if you're stuck in the house day in, day out?
Yeah,
How do you feel?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, right? And there's access there, but it's easy then to say, well, I'm not going anywhere.
They do call it the anxious generation, don't they? But like where people don't want to leave the house, and not necessarily don't leave the house, quite happy leaving the house, but going in a new gym, lots of new people, that causes anxiety. So I think a lot of times people like prefer to do in the house. Like I know a lot of older generation, my generation in the gym, never used to wear headphones, and then when you're in the gym training, you talk and socialise and this and that. That's gone now. Like, you go to the gym now, and everybody got earphones in. You know, so it's things change, don't they? And obviously, the norm changes. But for me, like I'm a very social person. I like to go out and socialise. You know, whether that's in the gym, whether that's rugby. Very talkative. Never train hard, but not at the moment. But I try and train hard. I try and train hard. But I will.
Have you ever trained hard, Terence?
If I get stopped for a chat, my session goes from half hour to like an hour and a half.
But that's what, like with rugby, it's socialising, it's teaching people basic social skills.
Yeah, there's a lot to
it's interacting.
It's more than just
and
fitness,
then
isn't it? Yeah.
You flip that on its head, and it's dealing with people's mental health.
Yeah.
So if you're stuck behind a screen and just being dictated to, well, where's the interaction?
Yeah,
where's the element then that you were actually helping yourself with the whole well-being side of things?
There's open for discussion in there, but I want to move on now to like the club, right? We're talking about rugby players, right? So I will say myself, when I played, I didn't access. I always trained on my own. I just went up the field and ran around. If I'd accessed what you were providing, maybe I would have been a better player and I would have recovered better. So for our boys and for anybody in the club, for any age grade really, is this something that we can access?
Yeah, of course you can.
So classes,
I can do specific training sessions. Quite a few years ago in the old gym that I worked out of, Kilfynydd rugby team, ladies rugby team, we would do strength and conditioning. Quite a fair few of them, and obviously everybody's got different limitations and everybody's got different abilities. But we just made sure that the sessions, first of all, for them were fun. So they would keep coming back. But obviously they were getting out what they needed for the game.
So it's a pre-game stretching or afterwards, or is it any time of the week?
You can do it. You can do it any time. Obviously,
I think I can have a go at this. Are you coming up with me?
Okay, well.
Sorry, go on.
Off season, are you expecting the boys to be training themselves and pushing themselves?
Well, I think for me, this is what I try to encourage the club to do. Really, local entrepreneurs, local girl Sam, she offers services. Let's access those services that relate to these off-season things. Pre-season, boys train hard, but that's the time really when you really want to work on your body. You've got time, contact. Just work on your stretching and out there. So that could be something for us to...
You can tie it in with everything, can't you? Obviously, during the season and when they're playing games, I'm assuming they have so many sessions a week before a game. So hopefully then they are working on things that they need to improve on. But there's nothing to say that they can't still do a training session with me.
No.
And still do their normal training sessions and a game.
Most of the players now would do their own thing. So obviously we train Tuesday, Thursday, play the Saturday, and majority of them are doing something every day. They're in their own time.
And what age are they?
These are senior men.
I just think a recovery part of it. It's like, they got physios. We've got 2 or 3 physios up there. They go up for a rub. It's 5 or 6 in a room. But after a game, if they access your service and therapy of like, right, let's do a bit of session with Sam, like help my shoulder, just access it, isn't it? It's something they're not doing, is it? So it's interesting. So,
they can access it,
So where do we find you, Sam?
So I am in Unique Health and Fitness Gym.
Just
do
cross the river.
Socials online, anything like that? You should do online coaching.
I do online coaching,
So how do they access your social media then?
So I've got Facebook and I've got a website as well.
Which is
SJ Fitness.
SJ Fitness, get in there.
Is that the same for Facebook and...
Yes.
Log on. So I want to move on now to something else, an add-on from your business, is your competition, Sam.
Okay.
Right, so tell us about that. I don't know what the name is for that type of...
It's just a bodybuilding
competition. Right, so I think I spoke to you off air about it, and I think it's the body change, which is a massive commitment to, right? For rugby players, it's one thing, isn't it? Fitness, get in the gym, pump your iron. But for someone to move their body from one to another, tell us a little about that, the preparation for it then. How do you prepare?
Leading up to a competition, depending on each person again, is different with how quick they can lose weight, how long they've been training previously, how much muscle mass they're holding. There's multiple factors to take into consideration. Most people will have a coach. So you find a coach, somebody you can connect with, somebody that you've got to build a good rapport with, and you're going to go to them and say, look, there's a competition in September, for example. Let's say I'd like to do it. Now, this is the realistic part of it coming in. He or she is likely to say to you, yeah, you can get ready in that time. No, you can't. Yes. Okay, so you're working then out as to how long it'll take you to get to that point of being on stage in September.
Well, so do you compete on stage?
Yes, I do.
We've got competitions coming up, or have you just done one?
So, 2024 was the last time I competed. That was in September, down in Port Albert. I've thrown into the mix this year, well, not thrown in, but we're having a family holiday. So, taking the kids, grandkids and stuff away. And that happens to be in May. Now, originally last year, I was all for guns blazing, let's go, let's compete in May. Now, obviously, I've got a holiday to think of, and it's a bit of family time. I'd like to compete this year, so I'll probably compete the latter end, maybe sort of October.
It is a big time-consuming thing to compete, isn't it? Because I know friends who've competed and actively compete, and it's not just the training, it's the dieting, and it's eating on the dot.
It's everything.
If I can name a name, you work with Geraint, in the college, and the transformation I seen within 6 months or less than that, Sam, was phenomenal. And he became irritated. He was like different person because he wasn't eating, So do you find that hard or do you just focus?
You learn, the more you compete, the more you learn about yourself, the more you know your tolerance levels. So something that perhaps on a day-to-day basis that may not annoy me, sometimes actually puts me over the edge, and I'm like,
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. He was very edgy and stuff. But I take my hat off you, envy you for, we've committed as rugby players to train. You train 3 or 4 times a week, but that's different. Really.
Oh yeah, you say you can't out train the fork, and it's obviously when people want to get in shape and get back to fit, obviously it starts in the kitchen as well as training. But when you compete on stage, the next level is everything is you weighing it.
You have to take every single thing into consideration, even factoring into your job role. Obviously, I work for myself. I've got a couple of businesses, so I'm a little bit sort of. It's easier for me to be able to go. Actually, today I won't start until a little bit later. Or actually, today I need to train at this specific time. Yeah. So it's easier in that sense. I've still got to go to work, obviously. Yeah. But for those people that have somebody to answer to, it's even harder then, because it's like, how many times in a day can you go to the toilet? Because think of all the water you're drinking. Yeah. When can I eat? Everything is restricted and everything is based on time.
Yeah, when you say that, you've got to set meals. You have to make set meals for the week. So you have 6 meals a day in this little box like veg. Is it
everybody
broccoli
is different.
And salmon and chicken? Or
Yeah. But everybody is different. What they like eating, because if you're doing that for a long period of time, some people would prep in for maybe 20, 25 weeks. Yeah. It's a long period of time to just eat chicken if you don't like it. So
that's what I mean about the dedication and the focus in what you've got to do. Like I was naturally get up and just go, but it was different then. It's different to what you were doing, but we could eat anything really. But again, if I'd concentrate on my diet, I perhaps would have been a different player again, But it's interesting. So anybody that's watching this, if you're interested in, a work routine, you want to get yourself sorted or you want to get fitter, Sam's your girl, I think. Sam's she's a local entrepreneur and got lots going on there, innit? So good luck with your bodybuilding.
Thank you very much.
Because I've seen photographs and it's phenomenal how the body changes and what you have to do, innit?
Why do you kick your shoulder every time you do that?
Because I like I got a bit of a twitch on me, Terry. Right? It's a bit of a problem I got, man.
Sam, just one bit of advice from yourself. If someone wants to get back into fitness or get into fitness, start from scratch, have you got any bit of advice for newcomers?
Just do it. Don't think about it. Don't overanalyze. Don't go standing there procrastinating. The more you overthink something, the worse it is. Just go and do it. At the end of the day, you can walk into most gyms these days and not most people are just... They're switched off. They're zoning out. They're worrying about what they're doing. Yeah. They're not worrying about brand new people walking in the gym or what colour outfit you got on or things like that. Nobody really care. Gives a monkeys.
No, they don't.
They're concentrating on themselves.
Yeah.
They're in there for a reason. So most people are not going to pay attention. I know that initial walking in through the door and you're going to be like, oh my God, I've never been in here before. I don't know anybody in here. Yeah, I get that can be daunting, but just don't keep thinking about it, just go and do it.
That's a great bit of advice, Sam, because that's one thing I've always said. No one cares what anybody looks like or what anybody's doing. They're doing their own thing. Like, it doesn't matter what brand of clothing you're wearing, whether, you know, it doesn't matter how you look, what shape you're in. No one's interested. When you go to a gym, no one's judging you at all. Just go to it.
Most people, why are most people in the gym?
To get better.
To improve,
Yeah.
to change their own physique. So they're going to be more concerned about what they're doing, not what you were doing. Yeah. And more often than not, they complete, like you said, headphones on these days, most people do, zone out all the extra noise. People following a plan, they know what they're going in there for specific reasons, whatever their sport is. They're not interested in who's walking in through the door.
Oh, I agree, full-heartedly agree with that.
Great stuff. So, you know, for anybody rugby players in the club, access Sam's services. It's something I spoke about off air, didn't I? I said that, you know, I since COVID, I've just got off the boiler talk, you know, when I was like 10 like a wasp when I went. Training all the time. So I need to get back into it, as Sam said, it's just, you just got to get on with it, don't you? Don't think about it, just get on with it. Crack on, get at it.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you very much.
Cheers.
Get in touch. If you need any more information about Sam's business, please get in touch with us, and we're more than happy to help.
And if you would like to come on, contact the pod via our socials, direct message us, and you're more than welcome to come on anytime.
Any ideas? Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.